Hello everyone. I hope everyone is fine. So today I am taking few questions based on the topic we just have discussed on the force on charge in the magnetic field. We already know that whenever a charged particle move inside the magnetic field in the direction other than along the direction of the magnetic field or opposite to the magnetic field. In all cases other than these two cases, there is some force which acts on this charged particle, and the force is given by this expression F is equal to Q into V into B. And because force is a vector quantity, so it is represented as Q into V cross B, where V is the velocity of the charged particle and B is the magnetic field in which the charged particle it is entering. And this force due to the magnetic field on the charged particle, it is called as magnetic Lorentz force, as we have discussed earlier. And this force is always perpendicular to both of the velocity of the charged particle, means the direction of motion of the charged particle, and the direction of the magnetic field. The direction is also known by the right hand screw rule or by the Fleming's left hand rule. So it will be perpendicular to both V as well as B. So this is what just we have discussed in our earlier classes. Now we take few questions and we try to understand the concept in a deeper meaning. Okay, the very first question is, there is a particle carrying a charge of 5 microcoulomb which is moving with velocity this. V is given to be 4I plus 3k meter per seconds. In the magnetic field B, which is given by 3k plus 4I Weber per meter square. So this is about the velocity of the charged particle, which is of 5 microcoulomb. The velocity is given to be here in terms of its vector notation, and also the magnetic field it is also given in the form of its vector notation. What we have to do? We are asked to calculate the force acting on the charged particle. So how do we attempt solving such type of questions? The very first thing is, observe the question very carefully and write down the terms which are given. Here it is the value of charge which is given 5 microcoulomb. So Q is 5 microcoulomb. The velocity of the charged particle it is given to be this, and the magnetic field Q. So we have just first written the terms which are given and then we try to focus on what we are asked to do. We are asked to calculate the force acting on this charged particle. Then we already know from our earlier learning that this force acting on the charged particle, it is due to the magnetic field, and this force is called as magnetic Lorentz force, for which we have this formula F is equal to Q into V cross B. Okay, now we substitute the values of velocity, charge and the magnetic field in this expression for the force. This is the force we are actually asked to calculate. So the force is given by, we are putting the values of quantities we are having. Charge, which is 5 microcoulomb, so we are writing it 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 into V, which is 4I plus 3k cross, it is cross product here, so it is 3k plus 4I, the magnetic field. Now it is the cross product of two vector quantities. So how do we solve the cross product of two vectors? Here is the we can say vector algebra to solve this. We solve the we can say the cross product of two vectors by using the method of determinants. So we write the A cross B in this form. So there is a 3 by 3 matrices in which we write the cross product A cross B. So in very first row we write I, J and K. In the second row we write the values of I, J, K in the first vector, which is V here. The first vector is V here. So we write the values of V in terms of its I component, J component and K component. So we already know here it is the V. So we know that its I component it is 4. So we write 4 here. It is the magnitude of the velocity along the I direction, I unit vector, right? So we write it as 4 here. And then comes j, and we in the expression we are having, we know that there is no j, so means the component of velocity along j direction is 0, so we will put 0 here, right? So these are the values of the first vector along I, j and k direction, and these are in the third row, there are the values of the second vector along I, j and k. And on solving this, we already know according to the vector algebra in our earlier classes that this can be solved just like this. We write the first term as I into, we omit the first row and the first column and solve for this 2 by 2 left out matrix. So it is I into aj into bk, aj into bk minus is the formula, sign from the formula, ak into bj. So it is written just like this, plus j, then we omit the line and the column for j, row and the column for j in which j lies. So we are left with ai, ak, bi, bk. So now we start multiplying this first. So it is ak, bi minus ai, bk. This minus sign is again from the formula. And similarly, plus k, we write the third term by omitting the row containing the k and the column containing the k. So we are left with only these two rows and columns. So it is ai, bj minus, again from the formula, it is bi, aj. So this is how we write or solve this cross product of any two given vectors. So in line of these, we solve now this. Now from here we have this charge q outside, and here we have I, j, k. Of course they have caps over them. And the velocity of, value of v along j is 4, value of v along j is 0, and value of v along k is 3 from here, right? Similarly, cross b, this is nothing but cross b. So we write the values of b along I, j and k from its expression. So I, along I it has 4, along j there is no value along j, so we write 0, along k it has 3, so it is written as here. When we solve this equation we get 0. So that means the force on this charged particle will be 0. This we can also understand from this vector notation of the velocity as well as magnetic field. So we see that the velocity and the magnetic field both are having the same notations in terms of vectors. So this is written as 3k plus 4i. You can write it as 4i plus 3k. It will be similar to the velocity. So that means velocity of the charged particle, it is along the magnetic field itself. And that's why there will be, according to the concept of magnetic Lorentz force, there will be no force on the charged particle. And mathematically, this is the way how we solve it. So this is the first question. Let me take the second question, which says that this: why does a charged particle not undergo any change in its kinetic energy while it is moving at right angle to the direction of magnetic field? So whenever a charged particle move perpendicular to the magnetic field, this is what right angle means, then why does there is no change in the kinetic energy of the charged particle? Now we already know that whenever a charged particle move perpendicular to the magnetic field, there is some force which acts on the charged particle. Then why does this force not do any change in the kinetic energy? This is the question which is asked. So from the learning of Lorentz force, magnetic Lorentz force, which is actually acting in this case on the charged particle, it is the same case. We know that this magnetic Lorentz force acts perpendicular to both magnetic field and the direction of motion of the charged particle. So that means according to the direction of motion of the charged particle, the force acting on it is perpendicular. And because as the force does no work in a direction perpendicular to itself, so work done by the force in a direction perpendicular to itself, the work done by a force is 0. You already know it by the definition of work, right? So here the force will do the work in terms of changing the magnitude. But in this case, there will be the no work done because the force acting is perpendicular to the direction of motion of the charged particle. And hence there will be no change in the magnitude of the velocity of the charged particle. And because there will be no change in the magnitude of the velocity, so because kinetic energy which is concerned with the magnitude of the velocity with which the charged particle move, hence kinetic energy will also remain same, or we can say unchanged. So this is the reason. Okay, let us take the third question. It is a point charge plus q, it is moving with velocity v perpendicular to the magnetic field B as shown in this diagram. So this is the diagram which shows that in xy plane there is magnetic field which is represented in the form of crosses. So cross represents the direction of magnetic field is perpendicularly inward. If this is a paper you are looking at, then the magnetic field will be perpendicularly inward. And the charged particle, it is given to be moving along this direction with velocity v. So this is the situation we are having here in this question. So it is asked that can we apply some electric field so that there is no change in the path of the charged particle? We know that in the present diagram, the charged particle, it is having velocity perpendicular to the magnetic field, because magnetic field it is perpendicularly inward to the paper, or we can say board or screen here, and the charged particle, it is moving perpendicular to the magnetic field. So there will be some magnetic Lorentz force which we can write as F is equal to Q into V into B. Due to that force, this charged particle which is of positive kind, it will start facing some we can say force called as magnetic Lorentz force, due to which it will start following a circular path inside the magnetic field due to that magnetic Lorentz force. So means it will start changing its path along the curved path. So question is, can we do something about the electric field? Can we apply some electric field so that it does not change the path of the charged particle? So if we apply the right hand screw rule, there will be change in the path of this charged particle along this direction. So charged particle will start moving in this way according to the right hand screw rule. So that means we need some force which can act on this charged particle in opposite direction, means opposite to the magnetic Lorentz force. And this force that should act, it should be equal in magnitude but opposite to the magnetic Lorentz force, because it is the magnetic Lorentz force with which the charged particle will change its path. So that means we require a force which is equal to the magnetic Lorentz force to balance it, and it can balance only when this new force, it should be opposite to the magnetic Lorentz force. So the force which should be applied to keep the path of the charged particle unchanged, this force should be equal in magnitude to the magnetic Lorentz force but opposite to the direction of the magnetic Lorentz force. So question is, can we apply some electric field? We already know that the electric field can be applied which can exert the force on the charged particle whenever charged particle it is there. So if it is a positive charged particle, then we know that the charged particle which is moving inside the electric field, it takes the direction of the electric field itself, means the positive charged particle moves along the direction of the electric field, means electric field exert the force on this positive charge along the direction of the electric field. So if we want this positive charge particle to come to downward direction, because due to magnetic Lorentz force it will move in upward direction. So if we want to keep it in downward direction, then we have to apply the electric field along this direction, in downward direction. Or from the present situation, you can say it should be applied along the negative we can say y-axis, right? That electric field, due to that electric field, this positive charge particle will be acted upon by some electric force due to that electric field in downward direction, or we can say along the direction of electric field. So we can say that yes, there can be some electric field which can be applied so that there is no change in the path of the charged particle. Then we are asked, explain what should be the magnitude and direction of the applied electric field. So direction, as just we have already discussed, it should be along the negative y-axis, or we can say opposite to the magnetic Lorentz force. Right? We have to calculate the magnitude only. So what should be the magnitude and direction of the applied electric field, so that net force acting on the charge is 0, because the force applied by the electric field, it will be balanced, it will balance the magnetic Lorentz force, hence there will be no net force acting on the charged particle, hence charged particle goes undeflected or undeviated, it will keep on moving straight. So we already discussed that the electric force, or we can say force applied by the applied electric field, it should balance the magnetic Lorentz force. So that means, okay, so that means I'm writing the second part, that means the force exerted by electric field, it should be equal to, it should balance the force acting due to the magnetic field, right? So this is what we understand from the situation, just like this. So the force exerted by the electric field, it should balance the force exerted by the magnetic field, or we can say magnetic Lorentz force. So from this we can write that the force exerted by electric field, which is Q into strength of electric field, this should be equal to the magnetic Lorentz force, which is equal to Q into V into B. Because in present situation, the angle between the velocity and the magnetic field, it is 90 degree. So this expression V cross B, it turns out to be simply V into B sine 90, means sine 90 means 1. So it is Q V into B. So this is the value. And of course, we know that these forces exerted by electric and magnetic field should be opposite to each other. But here we are just calculating the magnitude. Direction we already discussed. So from here, we see that Q cancels out on both sides, and we are left with that this electric field, it should be equal to V into B. So we can apply the electric field of this much magnitude, V cross B or V into B, which can keep the path of this charged particle undeviated or without any change. So this is how we understand or solve such type of questions. Then I take the last question for today. It is this: negatively charged particle having charge Q and mass M. There is a negatively charged particle now. Remember one thing, that all discussion in the previous classes we have discussed, it is for the positive charged particle, right? So the direction of positive charged particle, it is known by the right hand, we can say screw rule. And if it is a negatively charged particle, then in the formula this in this formula, whenever it is a negatively charged particle, right? So we put the sign minus here for the negative charge, so it will be minus Q, right? So for example, the charge on one electron, which is minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, so we put a minus sign with it. So due to, from here we understand that the force, direction of the force, magnitude, it will be, of course, will be calculated in the same manner, but the direction of this force, it will be perpendicular to both V cross B, but it will be opposite to the direction of V cross B, because it is a minus sign here. So F is given by negative of V cross B. So the direction, all discussion we have made in our earlier classes, it was for the positive charge particle. And instead of positive charge particle, if we take the negative charge particle as in this question, then the force will be in opposite direction. What is the force on the positive charge? For the negative charge, the force will be in opposite direction. So this is what it means. Okay, so question is, the negatively charged particle having charge Q, there is a negatively charged particles these are having charge q and mass m. They are moving through a vacuum in a parallel beam. So negatively charged particles are moving in the form of parallel beam having charge q and mass m. The particles have velocity v. They have velocity v. The particles enter a region. So there is a region of uniform magnetic field whose value is given to be 930 micro Tesla. So there is a region in which the magnetic field of this much magnitude exists. So the negatively charged particles enter this magnetic field. Initially, the particles are traveling at right angle to the magnetic field. Initially, the direction of the motion of the particles was perpendicular to the magnetic field. The path of the single particle, it is shown in the field in the figure. So whenever this negative charge particle moving with velocity v of mass m enters the magnetic field, it takes this path as given in the diagram. So we take this as uh, the given situation. Okay, further, the negatively charged particle follow a curved path of radius 7.9 centimeter in the magnetic field. Okay, so now we already know that due to magnetic Lorentz force, it follows a curved path, means having the radius which is given to be 7.9 centimeter, right? Then a uniform electric field, it is then applied in the same region. So there is some electric field which is applied in the same region. For an electric field of this much magnitude, there is an electric field of 12 kilovolt per meter in the same region. For this value, the particles are undeviated as they pass through the region of the fields. Now there is some electric field also in this region, and the magnitude of electric field, it is given to be this much, and due to this electric field, down this charged particle, it goes undeviated. So situation is somewhat similar to what we have discussed in question number 3 here. So let us extend the same concept further. So what we are asked, predict the direction of the electric field. Okay, so if this much amount of electric field can be applied in this region so that the particles are undeviated, particles goes straight. So that means this negatively charged particle will move along this direction due to the magnetic Lorentz force, because the magnetic Lorentz force will be pulling the charged particle in the upward direction. So the electric field should be applied in such a way so that it pulls the negatively charged particle in downward direction, and the force exerted by electric field, it should be equal to the force exerted by the magnetic field, means magnetic Lorentz force. Due to that, the charged particle will go on straight undeviated. So we know that it is a negatively charged particle and it moves in a direction opposite to the electric field. Negatively charged particles always move opposite to the electric field. So we have to apply the electric field so that the negatively charged particle in the present situation, it is pulled in downward direction. So that means we have to apply the electric field in upward direction. So this is the first part, predict the direction of the electric field. This the same reason you can give. So because the negatively charged particles are pulled opposite to the electric field, so we have to apply the electric field along the direction, or we can say we have to apply the electric field in upward direction according to the paper, in upward direction, so that the force acting on this negatively charged particle due to the electric field, it will be along downward direction. So this is the about direction of the electric field. Calculate for the negatively charged particle the speed v and this ratio q upon m. So we have to calculate the speed of this charged particle. So for this, as we have discussed earlier, that the electric field will balance or we can say the electric force will balance the magnetic Lorentz force. So from there we extend the same discussion here and see from here. We see that the force exerted by the electric field, it will be equal to the magnetic Lorentz force, and in direction of course it will be opposite. And from here we see that this QE, it is equal to QVB, and from here we can write the expression for V. So we can use the same values here and see what we get. So from here we understand that V, it is given by E upon B. So this will be the velocity of the charged particle, negatively charged particle. So you can substitute the value of E, which is given here. You can substitute the value of B, which is also given above, which is 930 microtesla, and you can calculate the velocity in meters per second. Second part of the question is that we have to calculate the ratio, it is ratio Q upon M. Q is the charge, M is the mass. So this is the charge to mass ratio. So for this, we know that the magnetic Lorentz force creates, or we can say give rise to the centripetal force, and due to that centripetal force, it starts following a circular path. So that means magnetic Lorentz force give rise to the centripetal force. So from here, we can find Q upon M. So 1V here, it cancels out with 1V on the right hand side. So while we find Q upon M, we are left with only V upon dr. Now we know everything about this expression. We know the velocity from here. We know the magnetic field. We know the radius, which is 7.9 here. We can convert it to in SI system so as to get the value of Q upon M. So this is how we solve such type of questions based on the learning we have made earlier. So that is all for now. I hope you have got this class well. Thank you.